So we're starting off our first fraction calculator with the half family, and you'll need one of these A5 pieces of paper. There's a choice of colours. And to start off with, we need to start with the largest member of the half family, which is the half. So I just need you to fold that piece of paper into half in any direction that you like. So line up the edges, find the mark, press down hard. We're going to use this a bit later, so it's actually going to be really helpful to us if we do a reverse fold, which means just turn it over, fold it back on itself so it sits nice and flat. Once you've got that, we're going to do the same three things with every fraction that we make. The first thing is frame it. So around one of those halves that you've created, we put a frame. Just close to the edge, nice and dark so that you can see it and then it stands out. Once we've framed it, then we name it, and so what we made then was a half. I'll write that H-A-L-F. And we know that in symbols to mean 1/2. So you can write that on too if you're comfortable with that. Some people just prefer the words, which is fine. We're going to write now that this is 1, what we've boxed here is 1 of 2 equal size parts. You could use the words pieces if you like as well, it doesn't really matter. And here I have, and I can easily see that of my whole here, which is this piece of paper, this part is 1/2 of that. So that is the first fraction in our half family. What we're going to do now is start with the half, so we fold it so that the half is on top. So starting with the half, we fold that in half again. So you can fold that in half again any way that you like. Line up the edges, press down nice and hard, reverse fold over the top, and then open it all the way out. And then look at the pieces and the size of them and how many of them that's created. So we started with a half and we folded it in half. And what we have now is this size piece. We're going to frame it. There we are. So I started with the half and I folded it in half. And I've got this size here, and what I can see here that I've cut, that I've framed, this is now 1 of 1, 2, 3, 4 equal size parts. And we call that a quarter, Q-U-A-R-T-E-R. And you may be used to seeing that using symbols as 1/4. I'm going to add an extra piece of information to this, which is how we made it, because we're going to use this a bit later on. What I did here was I started with half and I folded it in half again. So this is in fact a half of a half. It's just the descriptions. It's the relationship between the quarter and the half and how we made it. Now we've got one more fraction to make in our half family calculator. This time we're going to start with the quarter that we've just made. So starting with the quarter, so have that on top. There is my quarter size piece, and we're going to fold that in half again. This gets a bit tricky when they get very small. So I'm going to fold that, and we're going to open it all the way out just like we did before. So now we've made it. The next step is to frame it. I might draw a box around this one here. You can of course choose to put a box or frame around any of the remaining pieces that you've got there. Now this particular thing, if I just zoom in a little bit here, this size was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 1 of 8 equal size parts. And that means each of these is an 1/8 in size. E-I-G-H-T, like 8. with a H on the end. And then using symbols, it would be one of the 8 pieces that I've got there. So that's 1/8. Now the relationship between the 1/8 and the quarter, well, we started with the quarter, and what do we do to it? We folded it in half. So this is in fact a half of the quarter. Okay, so there we have, this is our first fraction calculator, halves, quarters and eighths. Using this we can do addition, subtraction, we could order, we can get a feeling for size. If I wanted to see how big 1/4 was, I can cover it up, that's 1/4. I can easily see it because I've framed it. 2/4 would be 2 of that size, and I can see that that would be this bit. And from that I'd be able to see that 2/4 was the same as a half. 3/4, I've got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4 is this large component here of my whole. And the 4/4 would make up my whole piece of paper. Similarly, we can look at our eighth. I've got 1/8 here. I can add 3/8 to it. 1/8 plus 1, 2, 3/8 gives me a half. So using this as a bit of a visual reference, I want you now to go off and do the next few questions that are in the notes and see how you go with the half family.